Another Hardwoodsman's challenge here. I'm going to show some uses of the cattail plant. I'll show you how to use the seed head for tinder. I'll show how to use the shoot as a spring edible green, and I'll also show how to whip up some fast cordage with the green leaves. Alright, I'm going to rip up the seeds, fluff them up. The more fluffy they are, the better they will catch a spark. All right, sack farmer and a fire steel. Throw some sparks. Not bad, right? How about that for a flash tinder? Here you can see the shoot of the cattail. Here's the bottom shoot. Use the sack farmer blade. Slice that. You can see the inner core there. Right in here, that's all good to eat. That tastes kind of like cucumber. Anything that's crunchy, it shouldn't get chewy. This is perfect right there. There it is. That's the inner core. Yeah, maybe that outer layer was still a little chewy. But that inside there, it's very good. You can cook it up. If this was grown in water, I probably would cook it up just to be extra safe. Supposedly, because it's inside the plant, it's sterile. But I like to take that extra precaution. So I would recommend cooking the shoots, but here it's growing out of a swamp, kind of swampy land. So I just cut the above ground portion and was able to just eat that up, and it's quite good. It's got some juice in there too, some moisture in there, so it almost feels like a little bit of rehydration as well, and that's helpful because today it's about 95 out here. All right, quite hot out there in the sun with the cattails, so I stepped to the side of the swamp here in the shade, and I've got another cattail here, piece just to demonstrate. Again, it's really this bottom section, the very bottom, that has that tasty inner shoot. Great snack. But then I've got the leaves. And I told you I'd show you how to make some quick cordage. So what I like to do, the fastest way that I do it is I'll take the green pieces and just tie a knot in the top. And I like to just braid it just like you would hair. Okay. And the way I do that is by folding. Folding as I braid. I fold the braid. And you can make some pretty fast cordage for a simple use. I wouldn't want to put much weight on this, but this would work quite well for many applications. The cattail, it dries, so the real trick is, if you're going to use it for cordage, is to pick it, separate the strands, and leave it out to dry, because when it dries, it shrinks a bit. So this piece, as it shrinks, it'll lose some of its strength. So it's really better to use when it's dry, and then you can rehydrate it to help with the braiding. Very quickly, you can make a piece of decent cordage, and that, if you tied something onto this, you could carry that over your shoulder. However you might want to use that, that'd work just fine. Of course, there's also reverse wrap. You know what I really like to use those for? For nature ninja headbands. Right? Give one of those to a kid, they're gonna love that. But the other way is the reverse wrap. You can cut these strands into smaller pieces. That'd be the way to do it. But this will work. And again, you really want to dry this out before you use it. But you can make some fast cordage that way as well. right? That's a bit sloppy. You know, what I prefer to do is take a piece and then use a smaller diameter. There we go. And this is something that's just real fast. And I know there's faster ways to make cordage, but you know, this is quick. You can do this just as you're walking. Check that out. That looks good, right? That's a nice piece. So I showed you how to use the seed head as tinder. I showed you how to eat the shoot and how to make some fast cordage. Couple plants on the way out. Here's some Jack in the pulpit. There's Jack in the pulpit. Plenty of skunk cabbage out here. Quite a bit of hay-scented fern all over the forest. That's one of my favorites. Springtime, you're walking through the forest, you can smell that hay scent through the air. Here is cinnamon fern. One of the ways I recognize that is by the fuzz down here. Look at that. Used in hummingbird nests. This is what the hummingbirds like to collect. That's from the bottom of the cinnamon fern. Here's another neat plant. This one is Indian cucumber. If I dig up the root, there's a white root, a little white root that tastes like a cucumber. I just like to wait till a little later in the season. I found that if I dig it up now, that root will just be real small, and I don't want to kill this pretty little Indian cucumber plant for just one little bite of root. So there's a couple of them around here. Maybe I'll be back later in the summer, and I'll get a better treat out of that. Lots of baby sassafras. Ooh. Check this out, New Jersey chaga. I found this spot a few times. I know where this one is at. I haven't harvested it. I just like to watch it grow. There it is. Don't find it too often down in New Jersey, but that's a nice example of it. Here's the jackpot of Indian cucumber roots. Whole lot of them.